Hello everyone, my name is Stephanie Hernandez Santos, and this is kind of my informative speech about Madera County Superintendent of Schools. So first we want to talk about the difference between general education, special education with district, and special education with county. So usually with general education is mainstream. Mainstreams are considered students who have no disabilities or physically and emotionally nothing wrong with them. So with these students, they're usually in a classroom from 20 to 30 students, and they overall have one goal, which is to complete school and eventually receive their diploma by the 12th grade. They are able to learn math, English, science, history with not necessarily no issues, but are able to learn a lot more independently with no one essentially being there and helping them step by step. These students usually go to the cafeteria by themselves, pick their own food. They are able to walk to the bathroom, use the bathroom by themselves, and education be a lot more independent than a special education class. There is also district special education, which these classes are also located in regular public schools because it is district. Usually these classrooms are full with students who are disabled, but not necessarily in a very severe way. So usually students are verbal, have a lot more motor skills. Usually these students are able to express how they feel without being any physically aggressive or attacking any other students. These students usually are able to collaborate with mainstream, so meaning they could also maybe walk to the bathroom by themselves, are able to go get lunch with no supervision or with light supervision. These students are able to have a recess, a break, whatever it might be, with mainstream students because they either have gained that trust already or in a way just are able to just because they have reached that level. So then we also have special education with Madera County. So usually with Madera County, they have about 2 maybe to 4 classrooms in also public school. Although these classrooms are much more in the back, and it's because these classrooms are much more bigger compared to any regular ed or special ed. So these classrooms are bigger because usually these classrooms are equipped with a lot more equipment. So for example, these classrooms have their own bathroom for their students. So usually that is just a toilet, a urinal for males, and depending on whether you're in elementary, sometimes they have baby stalls where you could change a diaper because sometimes these students do wear diapers. On the other side, they have a bathroom for usually staff, and usually that bathroom is also equipped with all the equipment necessary to help a student in a wheelchair use the bathroom or to also change the diaper. Usually these classrooms also have a washer and dryer in case of any accidents because that does happen in these classrooms. There's difference in education because usually these students have an IEP. This is how we as educators usually see where our students are at in their learning process. So an IEP, let me see. An IEP is an individualized education program. So it is technically a plan to see what the student is going to be working towards, and usually that's what you use to give, for example, when you're doing a lesson plan or you're printing out work, you kind of want to focus on what they're learning towards and what they're working on, just because most of these students are not at the same place. Some of these students who are severely disabled and are in these Madera County classes, most of these students are barely able to hold a pencil, are barely able to write their names, or sometimes they aren't able to aren't able to tell the difference between numbers, letters. So in a way, everything is just the same for them, just some scattered writing. So with these students, usually have their individualized plan, which is an IEP, and usually they get tested by their program director. So personally, I was able to talk to a program director because I am a staff person who works with Madera County. Here is my badge, Madera County. I am a substitute instructional assistant. So I was kind of able to talk about the process about IEP. So usually students have a personalized plan, and what we usually do is that they first just watch the student. They just watch them throughout the day and see what they do, how they work, what if they need any more assistance, or they are a lot more independent. So usually the first step is just to watch them. And then usually, because well, me as an aide, usually any paperwork we do with these students, we usually file them. And that's when the program director comes and they look through all the paper and they see what are they working on. Are they working towards their goal? Is the paper they're working on is a process? Is that their work, or is that work done but with assistance? So usually they just look through all their paperwork and see if it's good work or essentially just work that needs more assistance. That's when they usually have a sit down with the staff and they ask questions about how much they help these students and what personalized work are they receiving. After they gather all the information, they look at their plan to see if they are actually getting to their goals, or are they not necessarily getting to the work and are having troubles. So after they have their personalized report, then they have a sit down with the parents, which I technically don't get involved with just because a lot of these, well, of course, all students have the right to privacy. So I have kind of don't know what goes on in that classroom, and I technically cannot know. But I do know that after the process, they get a new IAP, so they get a new plan to see what they're working towards. Usually it's more advanced in a way, so they can learn much more new things, or to see what you could specifically focus on. Usually these classrooms, we focus on writing their names, kind of in a way basic, just life necessities. So knowing your name, where you live, a phone number to contact, just basic needs that kids should know just because they are, severely disabled. These students have a lot of programs to offer. They have a lot of resources as well. So a lot of these resources can have a one-on-one aid, and that is by law that if a parent can go to Madera County and ask for a one-on-one for their student. That is usually because they usually have behavioral issues, so they need someone else there to help their student. I am currently a one-on-one, and this is I have bruises on my chest. I have a bruise kind of on my arms, and this is because the student does pinch, grab, and the student does necessarily bite. So I am a one-on-one right now currently, but I was also just an aide in a classroom. So usually Madera County offers early education, what is it called? Bridges to leadership, for both, students, parents. But one of the best things is that Madera County works with people who are trained, people who are professionals. So one of the best things is that Madera County has nurses who are certified, who have gone through the whole career pathway to be a certified nurse. These students have a nurse, psychologist, speech therapist. They have, if they need more physical exercise, they have someone there who can assist them. Most of the staff can be CPI trained or CPR, which I work with someone who is CPI trained because sometimes the students need to be physically, in a way, put down because they are either in danger of hurting themselves or other students. One of the other things is that these students have a personalized counselor. They also have someone who can change diapers for them. So no matter what, these students have all the resources available that they need in school, and parents usually are very well informed and are usually very involved with the student process. So in a way, I'm hoping this kind of informs you and in a way makes you feel better about if your student is special needs. They are well taken care of in schools, and actually they get one of the best equipment as well. So these kids have also a personalized iPad. These kids are well taken care of in school. They have all the resources, and generally, usually staff cares so much for these students. So if you have a special ed kids, don't worry. They are in good hands. Thank you.